Well, there's more information on Trump immigration here on BBC News from Norwalk, Ohio, published July 2nd, 2018. Trump immigration, the effects of a raid on one tiny town. So, in the image before this, the page before this, they said that ICE came with doughnuts and arrested people when they got there. This woman's name is Carmen. Her daughter was one of the dozens of undocumented migrants arrested. She says we can't live in peace anymore. I wonder if this woman voted for Trump. I just wonder, because I don't feel nothing for y'all. Y'all know how I feel. You can hold your own nuts. I feel nothing. Shout out to Torian. And hold your own nuts. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed, okay? I don't feel nothing for y'all. At least y'all ain't dead. At least you ain't getting shot up in the streets. At least you ain't get your brains blown out. Anyway, it says President Tangerine's hardline immigration policy at the border with Mexico has made global headlines. But workplace raids in small U.S. towns hundreds of miles away are also having a profound impact on these communities. And this happened in Ohio. Let me go back up. Hold on. Norwalk, Ohio. Ohio, one of the meth states. Fentanyl states. Okay, yeah. So y'all got all kinds of problems up in Ohio. Anyway, it starts off saying that morning. Let me try to get in my my fake emotional voice. Here we go. I'm going to try my best without throwing up. That morning, Carmen woke up at around 5 o'clock, as she did most days, to prepare what her 20-year-old daughter would eat at work. She had made her some quesadillas, pollo, huevos, arroz y frijoles, and packed everything with a bottle of water, agua, and some frutas. The light of the day had started to come through the window of the kitchen, where Carmen did her things quietly to not disturb her two sons, one 26, the other 24, who were still asleep. The health of the youngest had deteriorated recently, and her life was largely dedicated to taking care of him. 10 years after crossing the border without papers, Carmen had finally reunited with 3 of her children. They had arrived separately over the years and stayed undocumented, her other girl being the only one still left in their country. "Take a rest, Mommy," her daughter said as she went down the stairs of the small front porch of their tiny trailer, where they lived in this community of migrants, mostly Mexicans, in the town of Norwalk, in rural Ohio. They hugged each other warmly. Carmen said, God bless you, I love you," and watched her go. Carmen felt tired, the spring heat only making it worse, and went back to bed for a nap. Sometime before midday, as she was having dreams, her mobile phone rang. She ignored it. The person, a friend, called again, and again she let it go. When it rang for a third time, she woke up and answered it. "¿Qué pasó?" "Hermana, your daughter wants to talk to you." "But she can't. Immigration has caught us." This says, so that was the end of that my emotional voice, because y'all know I don't give a damn. Dozens of those arrested lived in the Jefferson Trailer Park in a suburb of the tiny town of Norwalk. Norwalk is in a very rural, meth-infested, fentanyl-infested, hydrocodone, hydroxy, whatever, drugs. It's a drug town, okay? This is a trailer park. This is like some raggedy mess. They go on to say here, Carmen's daughter had arrived in the U.S. 8 months earlier on a visa, now expired, and not gone back. Your visa's expired, heifer, you got to go, okay? You got to go. She had found a job at a nearby gardening company where many of their 300 neighbors also worked. They often left home early when someone came to pick them up and only returned when it was already late. On that 5th of June, a bit later after 7 o'clock, some 200 armed federal agents, reportedly joined by helicopters and canine units, carried out a surprise immigration raid. They just doing their job. I don't blame them. They doing their job. Undercover officers walked in, offering to give out donuts. And when the workers gathered in a room, they surprised them by shouting orders. So y'all got taken in by some donuts. American citizens were to go to one side and undocumented migrants to the other. We wanted to run, Carmen recalled her friends say, but we couldn't. If we ran to one side, they were there. Or there they were. If we ran to the other side, they were there too. They were everywhere. There, 114 undocumented workers were arrested. Around 50 lived in the trailer park. So about half of them lived in the trailer park. I don't know what they're going to do with us. Oh, y'all going home. What the hell you think they're going to do with y'all? You going to be sent back home. She said, we have no work, nowhere to go, no documents. We're scared. Okay. Carmen, whose daughter was arrested. Her daughter was arrested. That's what she was saying. Carmen told her friend, who had also been caught in the raid, but was still able to use her phone, to cheer up, not cry or be sad. She hung up without being able to speak to her daughter, locked the doors, and started to pray. Everyone was afraid. They were saying that the officers would come here because they already had the information. The rumors triggered panic. Some of the 64 trailers were left abandoned as residents fled, many to a nearby church where they sought shelter. They then took turns looking after the more than 80 boys and girls activists estimated, mostly American-born, who were without their parents. And your parents should have been more responsible. And there's a video here, but I'm not going to play it because they might try to block me because this is BBC. 2 weeks later, many here were still asking where their parents were. They were often told by the adults there was nothing wrong, no pasa nada, and that they would be back soon. And okay, like y'all gonna have to read the rest of this because it's like it's really long. They trying to paint this picture like, oh, we're so sad. They getting pushed out the country and all this other stuff. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn. Okay, about what's going on with these people. So y'all had an option to make changes and do what you needed to do. You didn't do it. You voted for Trump, a lot of y'all. Or you supported those who did vote for Trump because y'all thought y'all was white. And now this is what happens to you. So, what did we learn today? From Nicole, you learned that I feel nothing and they can hold their own nuts. For 2, I'm sorry you're going to have to go back to your own country, but, not even sorry. It's like, okay, it's just a revelation. Like, you just going to have to go back to your own country. You act like this is a surprise. At least you have a country to go back home to. And I'm not getting heated about it. I'm just like, really? This is like common sense. If you're here illegally, you got to go home. And it's funny because when Americans go to other countries, they don't treat us this nice. You don't get a little raggedy behind trailer to live in. You go into a detention center and get sent home. You don't get to work in a garden, work in a field, picking whatever y'all picking. Cabbage, strawberries, whatever. You go home. So now you're here. Now you have to go home. The only reason why you're here is because they want to boost their numbers and put you as white, which you would love to do. You probably freaking rip the paper to sign a check off white. But you're not white. And now you realize that. When you get back home, you'll probably still be shitting on the black people that's in your country, wherever you from. Wherever the hell you from. Colombia, Honduras, Mexico, I don't know. Wherever they gonna send your ass. But now you can see Professor Black Truth has talked about this. He said, you all have a schizophrenic mentality. The only way to have justice in this system is to align yourself with black people. And y'all refuse to do that. He said the black people are the only roadway, the only method out of this. Because we're the only ones who've been treated the way we have been treated. But y'all refuse to do that because you think that, oh, well, I will have a baby and that baby will be white and I can be white. No, you will never be white. No. And now you sitting sad, riding on the bus. I hope it has AC because it's kind of hot. You know, it's summertime. Now you riding on the bus, going wherever you going, airport or whatever. And I'm like, well, I guess you have to try again. Come back. Maybe you get the money up to try to come back legally this time. Since y'all so smart, you should have been learning English. You should have been learning some things so you can get yourself legal here. Now you have to suffer. And like I said before, I still feel nothing.